What's up, everybody? Rex Extreme Level. Hold on. That's better. Today, I wanted to tell you that I've been granted. I wanted to at least show you this thing ever since I got on the night of this past Tuesday during this week. I've gotten a new figure because, sort of like my kleptomaniac lifestyle, I collect a lot of stuff that looks cool and stuff. But this one is in terms of a movie. This movie is Godzilla X like Extreme, Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire. Basically, I'm guessing number 2 in the Godzilla Kong/Kong stuff. But this case, I got one of those little toy figures, and the one figure I got was Kong. And I honestly love Kong. I was sort of like biased between both Godzilla and Kong. Each one has their own stuff. I'm basically, during Godzilla vs. Kong, I was sort of like on both teams. I couldn't really choose who they were, because in 2014, Godzilla was a beast. Once again, and in 2018's King of the Monsters against Godzilla, and then coming up, he was still a little good. Well, granted, he was shown to be a little bit destructive in the beginning, but there was at least a reason to it at the end, at sort of end when Maddie was involved. And in terms of this character, he is fully articulated. Also eating pizza. Good DiGiorno pizza. Anyway, this figure has while I'm looking at the back, you can look at yourself. The little flying thing is known as the biomimic heave, which of course are called heavy. But anywho, I discovered that the beast glove that people are calling it, or technically where before they even decide to make the name of the beast glove as a toy, the fans apparently, but then again, Warner Brothers decided to give it a little nickname with a period after each letter. So that means all 5 letters have a period. Beast, B-E-A-S, and T. What do those 5 letters represent? Bio, enhanced, anatomic, seismic, thunder glove. Basically, we're finally going to see Kong use the ability of lightning itself. I mean, the thunder in general is his roar. Okay, so here's the description. Armed with his ancestral axe and a prototype battle gauntlet that enhances earth-shattering primal strength. And a prototype battle gauntlet that enhances his earth-shattering primal strength, Kong roars into battle, packing a meteor impact with every punch. And there's also a few other things, like it has both Godzilla with his regular heat ray, Godzilla, more spikes, and apparently on the elbows. He sort of has a Stegosaurus-like tail out of his spikes, and is now pink, obviously. Scar King with his whiplash, and of course, the giant female villain of the movie, Shimo, who apparently looks exactly like Godzilla, but from a different branch, with frostbite. Like, there's probably a side of Godzillas that are mostly fire-based, and then there's the other who are ice-based. And then there's, you won't believe this, but they finally decided to give a name to Baby/Mini Kong, Suko. And they brought Titanus Doug into it, the little cute guy from Godzilla vs. Kong, but I'm thinking Doug is probably somewhat a pet to Suko, or a best friend. And Doug must also be a member of the Godzilla family. Because if there's peace between these two, there could be peace between Godzilla and Kong. And actually, turns out I saw a comment on the TV spot which was actually recorded by none other than Dante Dobson. Go over to watch his channel. It's actually good. You see a lot of stuff based off of Godzilla and Kong. That is literally most of his videos been all about. So, dang, I forgot to. Hold on. Okay, so apparently it was a little bit of a hassle thanks to my lovely assistant. So I love the fact that it's sort of like a built-in box glove. Now I can maybe use it like some sort of WWE wrestling figure. Think about all the gorilla presses he could use, like the gorilla press moonsault from Apollo Crews, or the gorilla press slam from Ultimate Warrior, or even the other version of the gorilla press slam, which is the number 2, which is where he throws him in front of him. All sorts of gorilla presses, actually. And oh, you can even I'm not even good. Am I? Yeah, I'm not. Okay, so back to the whole thing. Godzilla and Kong return in an all-new adventure, pitting the almighty Kong and the fearsome Godzilla against a colossal, undiscovered threat hidden within our world, challenging their very existence and our own. And of course, Scar is in control of that threat, and that is Shimo, who literally will who will bring about who will basically brought about. How does that saying go? She will basically bring out a second ice age. Yeah, that's how it do us. Bringing out a second ice age, and apparently it's not just, and Godzilla can't face against them alone, nor can Kong. Kong literally got wounded by Scar King, and Shimo's literally bigger than Godzilla in terms, well, not taller, but bigger. Bigger in width, more likely, not length. I'll say this as a Paw Patrol fan, this is actually a delicious thing. Try it once, it was good. You gotta try this, it's so good. But anywho, back to the whole Godzilla MonsterVerse stuff. There is another YouTuber who basically made all the monsters sort of peaceful together, like Rodan's a chef, Mothra's a lamp, like a girlfriend sort of way with Godzilla. Apparently, Cougar McDowell can voice both Godzilla, Kong, and the 3 heads of Ichi, Ni, and San. Of course, San's being the fan favorite because everyone loves that cute goofball. Oh, and here's the little ship that we see. And there's also another thing you should know is that when the part with Godzilla and Kong are coming out of the earth, well, throughout the hollow earth, running together, Kong then jumps on Godzilla, and Godzilla's totally fine with it. And another thing, this may be a little spoiler, if you have not seen this trailer before and have actually heard this one particular roar, because it was more like a screech, and this screech was alongside Godzilla's roar and Kong's roar, and that roar was during Egypt, well, not ancient Egypt, but within Egypt, and that roar was basically, we're going to see a return of everyone's favorite Mothra. She's coming back because here's something new that I discovered. Well, then again, now it's probably time for a new generation of Godzilla fans. If you have not noticed this, whenever Mothra dies, she lays an egg before she dies, so that whenever it comes to to her death, the next F will give birth to a new Mothra. But every time the previous Mothra dies, she's brought back with the same mind. It's like not a completely different Mothra. There was one movie where it actually had her as a mother of 2 baby Mothras. but she still died. No idea what happened to the other two Mothras. But yeah, Mothra's coming back. Oh, wait, let me try that again. Mothra's coming back. And it'll be great to have 3 protectors. One of the world, one of the humanity, and I guess Mothra's both. That'd be something. Anyway, I hope Kong basically either become Zuko's father through Bon, or just returns him back to his mother and father. But then again, who knows? If anything, Scar King probably just killed Zuko's parents. Or has them under his leash. There's also another thing I want to talk about too, and that is the game-wise and the game in general is Darksiders. So here's the thing. Apparently I discovered that Darksiders Genesis, the one that allows you to finally play as Strife, but also if it was multiplayer, you get to also play along with War. First game was War, then Death, then Fury, and then the Darksiders that involved Strife. Of course, Strife has to be the main guy. I mean, if you see 2 gameplay trailers, War doesn't really have, like, he doesn't even talk much in that second one. That's the first one I've seen, but in the second trailer, he just does no speech, anything, but shows his gameplay footage. But when it comes to Strife, he was all through that cinematic animation, and then his funny commentary with the fact that he got blood on his boots, and then it showed the gameplay. Honestly, I'm hoping that Darksiders 4, as in the 4 Horsemen, it becomes sort of like the version of Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 1, 2, and 3. Through DS, Xbox 360, or pretty much those are the only 3 I know. And Switch. Yeah, so that's pretty much the only 3 I know. But yes, if Darksiders was coming, War, Death, Fury, and Strife have to come there together. Like, you could play either single player and you just use the directional pad to switch between the characters, or multiplayer, you have 4 players together and you play out the whole game. But I also realized that Darksiders Genesis was basically before the game where you mostly play as War, then the game where you play as Death, and then the game you play as Fury. So honestly, I want to see those 4 work together. I mean, Death has to come back, right? Maybe that's what Strife's mission is doing. Trying to find Death or something. Who knows? Also probably trying to take care of the humans, too. Like it shows in the last bit of the gameplay. Granted, I do not have that game, because I'm more interested in what Death's role is. And honestly, granted, I've only made 3 one-hour videos to that game. I'm still trying to do so. But anyways, I do love the Darksiders game, but there needs to be 4-player or at least single player or the single player alone, or at least 2-player co-op, having the ability to switch between 2 different horsemen, like being able to cut and bash enemies as War, blast enemies as Strife, kill a lot of enemies and as Death, or just whipping them with Fury. and all their horses together. Basically, Ruin, War's horse, Despair, Death's horse, Fury's horse, Rampage, and of course I discovered that Mayhem has to be Strife's horse. So that basically says that those four, they have to have their own horses, their own melee weapons. But each one, I don't even think Fury has a gun. That's something. So that means only 3 of them have, like, Redemption, which was used by Death, only that one. But Strife uses 2 as well, but then there's also War. I mean, I guess there's like a Redemption 2.0? Who knows? But anywho, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Okay, that is good. And I'll see you all next time. Bye!